problem singling one guy out that I think's just done a phenomenal job this offseason is Quez Watkins. You know, I think I love his attitude of, and I've said this to him, and I have no problem saying it here. Like, oh, you guys, some people around here, and it's not in this building. We got a ton of confidence in Quez Watkins, but I kind of sense from him. He's never said this, but I kind of sense, oh, some people think I stink. Wait, and that's how he's attacked every day. That's how he's attacked practices, and I really think that he looks really good, and we know he's got a lot of talent, and that I'm excited about that, and I really like the way he's went about his business.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I'm the best reporting on the Eagles. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, I gotta let you know that this video is brought to you by Print Champs. Big Print Champs in the building. Make sure you get it all, man. The Hurt Season hats, you know what I'm saying? All of that, truckers, all of that good stuff, man. The ski mask, Howie shirts, everything's available via Print Champs. Tap in, use code BULLY10, get some savings and all that good stuff. Go ahead, run it up, just get your stuff, man, and get it out of the way, man. Listen, man, I gotta thank y'all again for streaming Word to Kiss, man. Word to Kiss is not. I don't think nothing going past 17 birds for my catalog as of yet. Word to Kiss is the #2 stream song out of all of the music that I dropped the last couple, you know what I mean, seasons or whatever. And that's just a shout out to y'all, man. Y'all definitely keep me going with that, you know what I'm saying? We're opening some doors, we turning some heads with that, man. And you know, that's what we do over here. Let's get into the meat and potatoes though. You know what I mean? And I want to say shout out to y'all that tapped into the Milton Williams interview. You can go check that, the last video that was put out. You know what I'm saying? Before this one is published. Yeah, let's get into it. So, Slay. First of all, let's start with Chris Sims for a second. We all know what Chris Sims is. Chris Sims is a habitual hater of Jalen Hurts. He is an habitual hater of Jalen Hurts. Chris Sims' top 40 list, you know what I mean? This year, in my opinion, actually wasn't that bad. The list wasn't that bad this year, man. You know what I mean? Some lists are trash or whatever, but when you hate, you have blatant hate towards certain individuals, you're just not giving people fair shake, so anything you do gotta be discredited. First of all, let's start here. If I'm ever talking about a player, now y'all know I be on Dak Prescott, but am I lying? Just ask yourself that. Am I lying? I'm not. Chris Sims is clearly, you know what I mean, lying about some of the things that he said about Jalen Hurts, and it just don't make sense. You know what I mean? And I don't even have a problem with the range that he has him at on the list. That's how I know it pained him horribly to have Jalen Hurts as the 7th guy on that list. I know that's eating at him right now that ain't got him that high. I know it's crushing his spirit right now. You know what I mean? But although I believe Jalen Hurts is a top 5 to 1 guy, depending on who you got in there, there's a lot of great quarterbacks in that top half of the list. But 7, I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at 7. He wasn't even on the list last year. I'm not mad at 7. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, just listen to what he said.
Super Bowl, and he did a lot of awesome things, but you know my point. It was a 10-point lead. He was on the better team. A lot of quarterbacks, if they were in that situation, would have been vilified. If Mahomes lost the game like that, he'd be vilified. Josh Allen, Burrow, whatever. That was my only point, right? And I know he still had a great game, but my point was, again, like what I was saying, that he needs to improve some areas so teams can't play them like that anymore, right? Because like I tried to, and I know this, I don't mean to sound like, but again, if a team played Mahomes like that, he wouldn't have thrown for 350, he would have thrown for 550. And I'm not trying to be a jerk, I'm just saying that.
Now, you hear what he's talking about, right? And it just doesn't make sense. You blaming the guy, and shout out for Slay, man. Slay stepped in, Slay took accountability, you know what I mean, for his side of the ball, and we talked about that when we were discussing the words that Devontae Smith used, when he talked about the fumble and things like that. He's never going to blame the offensive side of the ball. I mean, the defensive side of the ball, Smitty. That's what a team is. I just told y'all this. He's never going to blame the defensive side of the ball. Slay never going to blame the offensive side of the ball. It's a team sport. They ain't going to deflect blame to the other side of the ball. They're not going to do that. They're going to accept the things that they could have done better. That's a real team for you, man. Now, when you talk about other teams, the Dallas Cowboys, I vividly remember the Cowboys Twitter page bashing Dak Prescott. And I remember Michael Parsons bashing that offense. You know what I mean? Michael Parsons said, we did enough, the defense did enough to win the game. We held them to 12 points, 19, whatever it was. We did enough to win the game. Come on, man. It's a difference in how teams that's prepared in the battle, you know what I mean, respond to certain things. And I feel like Slay accepting accountability is right on target. But Chris Sims, man, it will just behoove us in Philadelphia to just ignore him and anything he does surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles player, because we know it's surrounding Jalen Hurts. We know it ain't going to come with a fair shake. Look, man, Jalen Hurts was just in a Tiana Taylor Jordan commercial with DJ Khaled, Fab, and Mano. Nobody else is doing stuff like that, man. Nobody else is doing stuff like that. And I listen, my sneakers might be on the way, man. I'm getting them Tianas, man. Ain't nobody else doing this type of stuff, though, man. And I understand it makes these guys, it hurt. I almost shed a tear seeing my QB in that commercial, bro. Because you got to understand, they said I was crazy for this, man. You know what I mean? Listen, and it all starts on the field, though. It all starts on the field. He would be nothing if his game didn't, if he didn't let his game talking, bro. Not nothing, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? I like it. I like it. Dalvin Cook was released by the Minnesota Vikings today. Dalvin Cook was released by the Minnesota Vikings today, and Dalvin Cook is easily one of the best running backs released since he's been in the league in 2017. Dalvin Cook is him. We're not going to act like he ain't. The only thing that ever slowed Dalvin Cook down was the injury. And that ain't even do his job. Didn't Dalvin Cook tear his ACL rookie year? The last 4 seasons, I believe, Dalvin Cook has ran for over 1,000 yards and only played one of those 4 seasons, which was last year. Dalvin Cook would be an exponential upgrade to any running back room in the National Football League. You could put Dalvin Cook on any roster and he challenges for the number 1 spot. He challenges for the number 1 spot. Put him over there with Christian McCaffrey. Dalvin Cook will challenge for that spot. Anywhere in the National Football League, that's how good Dalvin Cook is. You know what I mean? And if you're talking to me about Dalvin Cook versus Swift, it ain't even close. Dalvin Cook then gave you a 300-yard carry season. It's a lot of tread on the wheels. Dalvin Cook then gave you a 250-yard carry season. Dalvin Cook, I believe, I didn't check. He got to have at least 1 season with 500 receiving yards. I mean, Dalvin Cook could do it all. You know what I mean? He could run physical. He could get to the outside. He could catch. He could block. Dalvin Cook is an all-purpose running back in the National Football League. So, like I said, if you're asking me if it's between Cook and Swift, the answer is easily Cook for me. But at the end of the day, do I feel like we need Dalvin Cook? That's what it will boil down to. What do you need Dalvin Cook for right now? What do you need him for right now? You see how Kenneth Gainwell is responding, you know what I mean, to the adversity in the locker room during his training camp. So I'm not even batting an eye at Dalvin Cook, but it definitely is, you know what I mean, something to keep your eyes peeled about. You know what I mean, where Dalvin Cook is going to go. Because if he goes to the division, you got to prepare for that. You know what I mean? But luckily, we got those dogs on the defensive side of the ball.